Good evening, everyone. This is Melissa Thomas of Florida National News coming to you with the evening news rundown for your end of July, July 31st. Happy Friday to you. And as a reminder for our business owners, anyone looking to advertise on a platform, you can advertise with us here at Florida National News. We have 5 shows to choose from. So if you're interested, just shoot us an email at ads@floridanationalnews.com. We'd love to discuss more with you and get you started. Now, as usual, we like to get you guys started with the latest COVID-19 reports globally here in the United States and in the state of Florida. So globally, the World Health Organization is reporting now 17.1 million confirmed cases and over 668,000 confirmed deaths. Here in the United States, Johns Hopkins University is reporting nearly 4.5 million confirmed cases and over 152,000 confirmed deaths. Here in the state of Florida, according to the Department of Health, we're seeing over 470,000 confirmed cases and over 66,800 confirmed deaths. Now, jumping into our world story for today, the UK and Ireland are seeing their highest daily total of COVID-19 cases in more than a month. The UK reported as of Thursday over 846 new cases of COVID-19, and that's the highest that they've seen since June 28th. Additionally, they reported 38 people have passed away due to COVID-19 complications after testing positive, which brings the UK's total death toll to nearly 46,000. Now, given those numbers, they announced on Thursday that separate households will be banned from meeting indoors starting from today in Greater Manchester, East Lancashire, and parts of West Yorkshire after the rise in COVID-19 cases there. Prime Minister Boris Johnson said coronavirus is, quote, bubbling up in up to 30 areas across the UK. For its part, Ireland reported 85 new cases of the virus on Thursday, which is its highest daily total in more than a month. Jumping here to the United States, it's looking like the epicenter is moving from the Sun Belt to the Midwest. Dr. Birx, who is with the White House Coronavirus Task Force, announced that the outbreak is moving into Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, Missouri, Kansas, and Nebraska, quote, because of vacations and other reasons of travel. Now, Ohio's health department said that the state has seen its highest single-day increase in infections since the pandemic started back in January. So Ohio Governor Mike DeWine said that is certainly not good news. And in Wisconsin, Governor Tony Evers has issued a mask mandate. So for anyone that is going out in public, they're required to wear face coverings. Now, reports of new cases are starting to slow down here in Florida, in Arizona, in California, and in Texas. So that's a slight bit of good news for the state of Florida. But jumping here to Florida, there is one place where COVID-19 cases are continuing to rise, and that is in the prison system. So far, there are 3 more Florida inmates that have died from COVID-19, which brings the total number for the month of July to 49 of COVID-19 deaths, according to the state's Department of Corrections on Thursday. Now, the inmate death toll has doubled since the end of June, and back then the report was 24. So now they're at the total of 49. Now, as of mid-Thursday, over 9,500 inmates and corrections workers have tested positive for COVID-19. And as the virus continues to spread in the prison system, several correctional facilities are seeing major outbreaks, including Columbia Correctional Institution in Lake City, which on Thursday recorded nearly 1,300 inmate cases and 4 inmate deaths. The virus has infected roughly 60% of the inmate population in North Florida, according to figures provided by corrections officials there. Other correctional facilities that are experiencing COVID-19 outbreaks include the Santa Rosa Correctional Institution with 740 cases, the Lowell Correctional Institution with 629, and Graceville Correctional Facility with 655. As of Thursday, corrections and health officials have conducted over 45,000 tests on inmates, including over 7,800 prisoners who have tested positive. And as of right now, there are some 3,200 tests that are still pending. So watch this space, guys. We'll continue to keep you guys updated. In the meantime, we're going to take a quick commercial break and come back with some more news stories for you.
Big business and special interest groups have begun their attacks on Rick Singh on social media, radio, television. They want to make sure he's no longer in office. Have someone, anyone but Rick Singh in office. And the reason is simple. They don't want to pay their fair share. and expect you to pay it for them. Now, the question is, do you want to pay it for them?
All right, guys, welcome back. In our next U.S. story, President Trump is threatening to send National Guard troops to Portland to address the protests there. You guys have been following the news. Portland has been a place of unrest consistently after the death of George Floyd, the protests, of course, against racial injustice and police brutality. And as you guys heard us report a couple of weeks ago, President Trump sent federal officers into the Portland area to kind of quell the protests, but things unfortunately escalated a little bit. There were certain videos that went viral with federal officers clashing with some of the protesters. As a result of that, Governor Brown has decided to send in local and state police in an effort to gradually phase out the presence of federal officers in the area. Oregon police prepared on Thursday to take over the protecting of a federal courthouse in Portland, namely the Mark O. Hatfield Federal Courthouse, where demonstrators, they had been, setting things up as a staging ground across the street. The police actually cleared that park out, and they wanted to go ahead and kind of quell the protests. Now, President Trump, for his part, was saying that he doesn't agree with that. And even in the deal that the governor was making with the federal officers and with the Trump administration, the federal officers actually pushed back on leaving the city of Portland, saying that they will remain in the city in case they're needed. President Trump insisted in a tweet that the U.S. officers would stay in Portland until the violence was under control, tweeting, quote, "If she can't do it, the federal government will do it for her. We will not be leaving until there is safety." And he continued on saying that she wasn't doing enough to control the, quote, "anarchists and agitators." In a White House press conference later on in the day, he said that Portland was full of professional protesters and people that, quote, "hate our country." And he would send in the National Guard if officials, quote, "don't solve that problem locally very soon." Now, in preparation for the handover, state troopers, the local sheriff, and Portland police met and all agreed not to use tear gas except in cases where there's a danger of serious injury or death, according to Mayor Ted Wheeler. Federal agents sent into the city in early July have had to use it nightly as protesters throw rocks, fireworks, and other objects. We'll continue to keep you guys updated on that. Now, a couple more Florida stories for you, starting with a Orange County teachers union that is trying to block the reopening of Orange County schools out of concern for safety. The Orange County Classroom Teachers Association is seeking an injunction to prevent the planned August 21st reopening of classrooms until an arbitrator can rule on a grievance filed by the union. Thursday's complaint, which was filed in Orange County Circuit Court, contends that the district has not taken adequate steps to protect staff members and students from COVID-19 and has not released public records that include the names of schools that have had COVID-19 outbreaks and what is being done to keep the people safe. Orange County will begin the school year with distance learning on August 10th, as you guys have likely heard by now, and the students will be given the option on-campus learning starting on August 21st. In our next Florida story, Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings just recently wrapped up his press conference at the Orange County Emergency Operations Center because Governor Ron DeSantis has declared a state of emergency in preparation for Hurricane Isaias for a possible approach here on the east coast of the state of Florida. So Mayor Demings, for his part during his press conference, made the announcement that the hurricane watch has been issued for the coastal counties, which means that there's about 48 hours before those areas start to feel tropical storm force winds. So if you are here in the state of Florida and you're on the East Coast, please be careful. Now, based on the latest projections for inland areas, Orange County anticipates the potential for wind and rain starting late Saturday night into early Sunday morning. However, the timeline of those conditions could change as the storm approaches. You guys already know that. We are in hurricane season, so guys continue to be safe and stand by. Now for Orange County, here are a bit of some of the updates that he announced during the press conference. As far as shelter, given the current path of the storm, community shelters have not yet been opened. If shelters need to be opened, capacity will be expanded to better accommodate social distancing due to COVID-19. Currently, 84% of the county's hotels are open and ready to assist those from coastal areas who are seeking shelter inland. Now, from the fire marshal, the county's team has been in communication with all 108 assisted living facilities in the Orange County area to ensure that they're prepared for possible inclement weather and to identify any unmet needs for the facilities. In terms of the Stormwater Management Division, the county's team is proactively monitoring and assessing stormwater drains, canals, and ponds, as well as other sites in anticipation for rainfall across the county. Because for those of us in Orange County, we know how that goes and how easily ponding can take place and how dangerous it can be to drive once the rainfall begins. And in their public works update, Mayor Demings mentioned that the equipment to remove debris is already ready to deploy if needed. The county has extended its free self-serve sandbag giveaway until this coming Saturday, aka tomorrow, August 1st. Now, for locations, hours of operation, and more hurricane prep information, just visit ocfl.net/storm. That's ocfl.net/storm. Now we're going to take another quick commercial break and come back with your business and sports story.
I'm not picking it up. You pick it up.
I'm not picking it up.
Well, somebody's got to pick it up.
I'll pick it up. They're clean. 'Cause my hand is clean. Oh yeah, I'm Charmin clean. That's how I know they're clean.
Charmin Ultra Strong is woven like a washcloth and just cleans better.
Yeah, I'm Charmin clean.
The kid does have a point.
My hand is clean.
Enjoy the go with Charmin. And for an extra clean finish, try Charmin Flushable Wipes.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Evening News Rundown. In our business story today, McDonald's is the next corporation that is pledging to revisit its diversity initiative. It's actually announcing a diversity initiative as of Thursday for its corporate employees, franchisees, and customers, saying it will do its part to fight systemic racism and discrimination in all forms. Now, of course, this move is stemming from the public outcry that began with the death of George Floyd and the revisiting of racial injustice across the nation. Now, in their announcement, McDonald's says that the public outcry has, quote, elevated and renewed our attention and deep responsibility to make company-wide changes. We also have to acknowledge that some people in our own system feel like they haven't been given a fair opportunity. We've got to face up to that fact and do better, the company wrote in a note to the customers. We are committed to being better allies, better sponsors, and better leaders to create a future where equality and fairness and opportunity aren't just goals, but the lived experience of every single person in our communities. So in unveiling its strategy in order to increase its leadership, McDonald's says it will address any hiring bias and reduce any, quote, barriers for underrepresented populations, with hopes of being able to better represent the communities it serves. The company says it will enhance efforts to attract and recruit diverse franchisees, although it didn't specifically, specify exactly how it plans to do that. So we'll continue to keep you posted on that. The company will also reduce barriers for diverse suppliers, quote, to enter the McDonald's system and increase our spend in this space. The company said it will monitor its advertising and restaurant experiences to, quote, ensure that they reflect the needs of our customers. And lastly, McDonald's plans to share the specific actions it will take to achieve its goals and how it will achieve them annually once a plan is in place. Now, jumping to sports, another Major League Baseball update for you guys. You heard us talk about the Marlins canceling things across the weekend. Now the Phillies are having to do the same thing, at the very least, for this weekend. Major League Baseball called off its weekend series for the Phillies after several employees with the Phillies have tested positive for COVID-19. As of right now, the total number is 3, a coach and two clubhouse attendants, a home clubhouse attendant and a visiting clubhouse attendant between Wednesday and Thursday had tested positive for COVID-19. Now, at the time, the Phillies had actually played the Marlins last Sunday, and the concern now is that there was a possibility of the COVID-19 transferring from one team to another since they played on the same field. So obviously, that particular field is being examined and cleaned, of course. Now, with those games postponed as of right now, the Phillies said in a statement that team activity has been canceled until further notice. So we'll continue to keep you updated. And more specifically, Casey will keep you updated when she returns for the FNN Sports Take at 8 p.m. this evening. So far, fortunately for the players, no Philly players have tested positive. But again, 3 employees have: the coach, a home clubhouse attendant, and a visiting clubhouse attendant. So stay tuned. We'll continue to keep you updated. In the meantime, we're going to take one final commercial break and wrap up with the entertainment story.
It takes experience to know the difference in property values. For example, this business is not the same as this business. And this house is definitely not the same as this house. And this, well, this is definitely not the same as this. And that's why it's important to have someone who understands true property appraisals to help our community grow, while making sure everyone pays their fair share. Because experience matters. Re-elect Rick Singh for Orange County Property Appraiser.
All right, guys, welcome back as we wrap up with the entertainment story. Ellen DeGeneres has now spoken out in a letter to her staff after days of reports of workplace complaints and, of course, the investigation that has been launched by Warner Media into the workplace. You guys heard Jamesia Stoudemire talk about this yesterday doing the Entertainment 4 for 4. Now, in her letter, Ellen addressed everyone saying that this was something that has been brought to her attention now. She was not aware that it was an issue, but now that it has been brought to her attention, she is ready to address it. And she, for her part, made an apology to all of her workplace staff. Her letter says, in part, quote, "On day one of our show, I told everyone in our first meeting that the Ellen DeGeneres Show would be a place of happiness. No one would ever raise their voice and everyone would be treated with respect. Obviously, something changed, and I am disappointed to learn that this has not been the case. And for that, I am sorry. Anyone who knows me knows it's the opposite of what I believe and what I hoped for our show." She attributed the success of the show to the contributions of her staff. And she says her name is on the show and everything they do, so she takes responsibility for that. She said alongside Warner Brothers, they immediately began the internal investigation, and they are taking steps together to correct the issues. She said, quote, "As we've grown exponentially, I've not been able to stay on top of everything and relied on others to do their jobs as they knew I'd want them done. Clearly, some didn't. That will now change, and I'm committed to ensuring this does not happen again." She said that there were some people who worked with her or for her who have been speaking on her behalf and misrepresenting her. And she said that has to stop. She said, quote, "As someone who was judged and nearly lost everything for just being who I am, I truly understand and have deep compassion for those being looked at differently or treated unfairly, not equal or worse, disregarded. To think that any one of you felt that way is awful to me. It's been way too long, but we're finally having conversations about fairness and justice." So great news for Ellen DeGeneres and the Ellen DeGeneres Show. We'll continue to keep you guys updated on that as well. But that does it here for us at the Evening News Rundown. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you haven't yet, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. You can find us at Florida National News on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And a couple of our other Facebook pages include FNN News TV and FNN News Live. And on YouTube, be sure to click the bell icon as well to make sure you get all of our notifications for all of our shows. And another quick reminder for anyone looking to advertise, we welcome your advertisements. Just shoot us an email at ads@floridanationalnews.com. And if you missed today's awesome interview with Diana Lavelle, just go to our Florida National News page on Facebook to catch that interview with Jenny Rosario de Casiano for the Entertainment Buzz. It was a wonderful interview. But in the meantime, that does it here for us. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. And for our Florida residents, we hope you stay safe. Take care. Have a great weekend.